All right, we are back. It is May 12th for another episode of Safe on Talk. I'm here with Chris. What's up, Chris?
Yo, what up, Dustin?
Oh, it's nice out here in Rochester in the
so
upstate.
beautiful.
Winter here talking about video games like fucking nerds.
It's my favorite thing to do.
It really is, though. We got some great stuff today. Capcom's flipping their stance on people holding tournaments. Embracer basically picking up on the rummage sale of Square Enix.
Jeez. Fire sale everywhere, man.
Lego Brawl's announcement trailer. Have you seen that? I haven't seen that yet.
No,
I held off good, so we're gonna be seeing that for the first time. And we'll talk a little bit of E3, past and present. Talk about their cancellations, why they might not come back, why we probably pray they come back.
Please come back.
Yeah. So let's get into it.
Let's get it.
First, I say we might as well start off with the Lego Brawls trailer. Because I've been dying to see this, because I had a couple people tell me it's pretty dope looking. But also it's a Lego game, and it feels like they can't do any wrong. You know?
I really haven't seen, I'm not even over-exaggerating, I haven't seen a bad Lego game yet.
Yeah.
I played all of them, and I haven't seen a bad one that's like, I won't touch that again.
Yeah. That's how I feel, too. So this came out on Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, it's only a minute long, so let's just play it. Rip through real quick.
See it. Okay. Okay.
Oh, you customized. Oh, yeah, that's dope.
Oh, yeah. No Western. This is crazy. I wonder how this gonna go.
Yeah, Nickelodeon's watching this like, fuck, man. Why is everyone doing this shit better than us? We're so screwed.
God.
Yeah, so, I mean, it looks pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. I don't play a whole lot of brawlers. I played a little bit of Brawlhalla and obviously like Smash at parties.
Say it again. Play with Smash at parties.
No, I said I don't play a whole lot of brawlers. I play Smash at parties, and I played some Brawlhalla. But I haven't played any of the Nickelodeon one. Have you guys played any of that over there?
I did play the Nicktoons Brawler, and I was like, it's underwhelming. But it was the first year, so I was like, the first Smash wasn't. Looking back, people have nostalgia about it, but like it wasn't that sexy. Like looking back at it now, but it was a lot of things that had to be worked out of the game. So I think if Nicktoons sticks with it, it'll be a lot better game. But realistically, this Lego game probably gonna blow it out the water.
Yeah.
Cause Lego and they just know how to do shit. Like they know how to customize. They know how to get the things that you want to see and hear, and they know how to bring their whole universe together.
Yeah.
So I think, it's gonna be better for them.
And where I think Nickelodeon, I think even did like half as good, even though it didn't do that great. But you never know in the future, is because they have a cast that people want to play as. You know what I mean? Like when Ren and Stimpy dropped, I was like, yo, I might legit just get the game to play as Ren and Stimpy. Now Lego doesn't have.
It's Ren and Stimpy. That's legit.
Exactly, but Lego doesn't really have any canon that's mainstream enough to use. But I think the game's gonna be so good, and the customizability is gonna be great. So
I was about to say, like the way you could customize, and the fact that like Lego kind of lets you build your own, like how you think the universe should be, or how you think players should be, or what they should look like. Like I think they know how big customization is, especially early in games. So like the fact that they did that, they know.
Oh, 100%.
I think it's gonna hit easy. Like even if it's just like a brawler you pick up to have fun with here and there. Like if I did a tournament for it, I wouldn't run like nothing serious unless it turned into something serious. But like I would just like, hey man, come over here, jump in this Lego brawl, let's turn
Yeah.
have fun with it, you know?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, especially eventually, you get you're planning on getting the store back, so
Right.
just another good game to add to the list.
A lot of fun to have, especially for parties and stuff like that. I can see kids going in on that game. I'm not even gonna front.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks cool, man. I don't know. I have zero idea when it's coming out or if they've even announced
It
it.
didn't say 2020, 2022?
Did
Or
it?
was
Did
I
it
looking
say it at
wrong?
the end? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
summer
summer
2022.
2022.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
dope.
yeah.
All right,
Okay,
cool. So it's
that's
coming
right around the
quick.
corner.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that could be 2 months from now.
Could be.
Cool. All right.
May, June. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see it in July.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of big names coming out, so it's a good time for it to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really hear a lot. What's the other one? The multiverse one that is not dropping summer too.
Multiverse one? What's that?
It's the multiverse fighter. It's got like Batman and Shaggy and all that.
I have not seen this. Hold on,
That
let's
one,
see
yeah.
this.
You never seen this before?
No, let's
Oh yeah, peep this. Yeah, peep it, please.
which one? New Marvel Simulator game. Is it this?
No, that's
Oh
not
no,
it. No,
that's
no,
not it.
it's the top
Multiverse
one like
Genesis,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a Warner Brothers. It's supposed to be fire.
I'm Tony,
I think
the
it's
game
free to play.
director and co-founder here at Player First Games. Give you a first look at the genre, removes the pain points, and brings in some new ideas.
Oh, this could be dope too.
Yo,
this looks a lot more similar to Smash Brothers though.
It does. Look at that.
Lego's got like
And,
its own
like,
style, and this does too, but
Yeah.
it is very much influenced. Like
everybody's
trends.
trying to get their Smash on, man. Like it's
Yeah.
no secret. Like
Yeah, they don't even
Smash
hide it
is
anymore.
wildly popular.
Everything is better with your friends.
Everybody
and
wants
that's
their
upon
piece.
one
Dope.
emphasized
Bugs
across
Bunny.
worlds, especially in 2v2.
Yo, I'd love to fucking rock some of those
Every
Bugs
character
Bunny.
has unique moves that focus
Harley
on teamwork,
Quinn,
whether
Batman.
it's a smoke bomb,
The fact that it's
cover your
Batman
team's
and
movement,
like
Batman out.
Stevie shielding his ally
everybody's
for
gonna be
extra
involved,
offense,
Steven Universe and all that. It's
saving
gonna
someone
be
with the
dope.
last
Yeah.
entry.
And right now the roster's
Or
like super
using
small,
Bugs
but like
Bunny's
when they throw
better your
people out like
teamwork,
this, it's
the
gonna be
better your
crazy.
chances are to win.
I might be Finn. I like Finn.
We built the game from the ground up for teamwork and co-op to deliver a more unique experience
Yeah,
we
this
think
looks
players
dope.
will enjoy.
I forgot
And
Soup's
for those
on
of
it.
us who like
Wonder
to play
Woman.
solo, don't worry, we support that too.
Cool. Any they
Get
said
ready to
summer,
challenge
so you said
being
it's
the
coming
most
out soon?
responsive free to play and code.
Yeah, I got
Gaming
checked
can
today
be.
and I don't remember.
It's a
I thought it was summer.
multiverse.
Oh, there he
Shaq
is, there he
gets
is.
on it. Yeah.
Those at once or compete in esports multiverses skins.
Oh, Tom and
events
Jerry?
throughout the year.
Yeah, they in
With
there.
Hell
updates,
yeah.
including new characters
Yo, this
that
shit might be
anyone
lit, bro.
includes
Oh,
anything
there he
is
is.
possible. We'll serve our community with regular updates.
Where was that
including
shirt
new
off
characters
skin,
to
though?
help
I wanna go
grow
back to that.
multiverses to the best game it can be. So
There
whether
it
you
is.
want
Look at that.
freeze
Oh,
on
it's
your
Bruce
foes at
Lee.
once
That's
or
Johnny- I
compete
think
He's got the
supposed
Bruce
to like
Lee
the-
on the
skin.
home here.
Yeah.
Batman versus Superman. Let's settle this once and for all.
That's our first look into multiverses. We've got more iconic
that's
characters and
dope.
features to reveal. Sign
Look
up
like
on
Shaggy.
Multiverses.
I think I'm more excited about
Participate
this than
in our
fucking Lego
upcoming
Brawl
play
now that we
tests.
saw this.
We want to hear your
I
feedback.
don't know how I hadn't seen this before.
Yeah, man. We as soon as it came out, I was like, okay, we might be running something.
Adventure Time. Yeah, this could be a sick roster.
Free to play. Yeah, they say when. Yeah. Oh yeah, 2022. Boom. But that could be winter or fall, so we don't know yet.
Yeah, they might try and get on the Christmas train. Wait, you said it's
Yeah.
free to play though.
Yeah.
So I guess as close as soon as they can get it out, as long
And
as
it's
it's
been a lot of-
relatively polished and it looks pretty much done.
It looked like it's legit supposed to be a good game, so
Yeah,
I'm excited about it.
cool. All right, let's move on to Capcom. Flipping. A lot of people were mad. You saw this shit coming from a mile away.
Sure
There
did.
was with the kickback that they had after they announced this, like how
I
they're
think
being
the
a
whole
stickler
community was
about
like,
it.
"What? What are y'all talking about?
Yeah,
Do y'all not want us to run Street Fighter 5 anymore? Is that what you're saying?"
yeah.
Like that was the initial reaction.
So let me read what they put. Recently, we published the new Street Fighter Community License Agreement for the Americas and EMEA. We acknowledge that we could have handled the situation better. We want to thank our passionate fans for the feedback. Community is very important to us. Taking into account the feedback received while maintaining our original goal to provide a no-cost license. Click a link to see the summary of the changes, yada, yada, yada. So basically, oops.
Yeah.
And they fixed it. So that's good. So you were on the side, you were like, if they are legit going to come at me for this shit, I'm not running Street
Listen,
Fighter.
in the beginning, because I try not to overreact to things, because obviously once you see the news, you got like, okay, how does this affect me? How does it affect what we're doing? But I legit was like, okay, like even the team was like, Chris, you might want to take this logo off because like you don't want Capcom bothering you about what we try to do here. So, it did simmer down like the exposure we were giving to Street Fighter Five, just because it was like, I don't want to get in trouble for doing this, but we still want to have five for players who come and play the game. So it was just like it was a weird space to be in.
Yeah.
But now that this is like that, I can actually like we can go. Well, I mean, it's towards the end of the shelf life for five anyway, but like we can still go back to like pushing it and showing love, and like I think it's a good step in the right direction, because you don't want to do things that screw the community, and you don't want to do things that screw the people who are doing their best to cater to their communities.
Yeah. And I mean,
that's what the move felt like.
if they would have done this early in the game's career, it would have probably fucked it over a little bit if no one was running
Yeah,
locals. And then
yeah.
they do it late in the career, and it's like, okay, that's probably the fucking last nail. Like,
Well, that's what
there's no good
turned
time
into
to be
almost.
this fucking stupid. Like,
No.
this game is on its way out. I mean, obviously they announced Street Fighter 6, so yeah, it's like, I don't know, that's not even a shoot in the foot. That's a shoot in the fucking head.
When I talked to Jeremiah about it, I said, you know what I think they were doing was experimenting with what they could get away with 6. And
Yeah.
I think when the
Oh,
community
yep,
was like,
that's very
hell
true.
nah,
Yep.
it's like, oh well, shit, if we could do that with 5, maybe we can sneak that in there with 6. And community was like, hell nah, what y'all doing?
Yeah.
You know?
No, fighting game community ain't having that shit. That's for sure.
No, they are very boisterous. So when you when you do something in the FCC, man, you're gonna hear about it, and it's gonna be a lot of threads and tweets and retweets, and they go hard, man.
Yep. For sure. So yeah,
So if you fuck up at
that's
FCC,
great.
you got to be careful.
Did they just post this today?
Yeah, I think it came out. I saw it this morning.
Oh, okay.
I
So
was
yeah,
absent this
either
morning. I was like,
last night or this morning.
yeah, it's
Cool.
a smart move though, man.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Did I read that blasphemy I just saw?
Blasphemy.
Sega
Oh,
is the
hold on,
WCW world.
that's a surprise. Hey, no, I saved that. That's coming at the end. We got a hot take convo coming in hot. So,
Alright.
yeah. Did you see what I think you saw? You saw Lisa?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, you saw something else. Okay, never mind. I thought you saw something else. I didn't see what you saw. But yeah. Anyways, so Guilty Gear Strive is having a on the first
Ooh.
anniversary on May 25th. They're
1 year
gonna
anniversary for Strive.
Yep, they're gonna do a Guilty Gear Season 2 showcase, which will be pretty dope
Nice.
because they're doing crossplay. It's gonna come PlayStation, Steam, which I think is
Oh,
fucking
word.
super dope. I'm super excited for that. Not that it's
So
hard.
Guilty Gear about to have crossplay for
Yep.
PlayStation and Steam.
Yep, and I'm hoping they will
Mm.
say when it's officially announced. It should be within the next couple months. I imagine it's pretty much ready to go. Then they'll probably they said they're gonna have an exhibition.
Right.
So some cool matches like they usually do. And yeah, I don't know if they'll have a character reveal. I hope so.
It should be. It should be a part of that.
Yeah, I can't remember when Testament came out. I can't remember how long ago that was, but I feel like that was the end of March. So
Jeremiah, when did Testament drop? You remember? Was it?
yeah, like a month ago.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so maybe it was in April. I keep fucking thinking it's May, but so yeah, I think it
Yeah,
was in
it's
April.
March.
So who knows? That'd be cool if they did. Maybe they'll preview some changes, some balance changes, but we don't really know. But it's coming up quick. It's in a little over 2 weeks. 2 weeks and a day, so that'll be cool. The story
Yeah.
mode just dropped the part 2, but I haven't
Oh,
played
did
that
it?
yet. Yeah, that just dropped recently. I just saw it. I was playing. I fired up Strive today, and I saw that they're saying that it's out. So that must have just came out recently. So that's
I
pretty
like
cool.
that. I like that they do like single player content. Not because like obviously I'm one of those people who just multiplayer everything, but like everybody doesn't want to or doesn't have the ability to play with people. So like to still get quality without having to go online or without having to have a good internet connection, I think that's something that still deserves to be a part of the game. So I like that.
Yeah. I mean, I just like announcements and like possibilities for announcements in general. Like I get hype about the dumbest shit. Like shit I don't even like fucking when Gold Lewis was announced in Strive. That couldn't be the farthest thing from a character I'd play ever. But I was still like, fuck yeah, Gold Lewis, let's do this. Like
Gold Lewis is
no
tough.
idea. I was like, I'm never gonna play this character, but just seeing like announcements. Like
I
it's
saw
always super
the
exciting.
oppression that came with Gold Lewis, and I was like, Jesus,
Yeah, he's
this is
much
gonna be
better now.
scary.
It's fucking hard to
Yeah,
play. He's got like
yeah.
he's got like 8 normal rotational movements, and like depending on where you rotate is the direction and how he swings his shit. And there's like I
Oh,
don't know if
word.
there's 8. I think there's at least 6. So he's like mad tricky to play, but he's a
Mm.
pain in the ass. Everything causes extreme chip. Everything
Yo,
puts you in
that
stun.
machine gun chip is crazy.
And that shit's fucking stupid. It might as well be something to just take your meter, because if you don't FD it, you're either
That
like
was like,
super high on health, or like you're super high on health, or you're gonna take the chip and get that much closer to dying because you don't have that much health to begin with. But
you
yeah,
remember
that's
X Men
just a pain in
versus
the
Street
ass.
Fighter when they had you could put it on so it would automatically block for you even if you weren't holding black, but the counter to that was like it took massive chip damage.
Ah, really?
Yeah. Oh my god. So like that reminded me of the X Men versus Street Fighter days, where like you could set your mode to where it will automatically block for you, but like you would take crazy chip damage for that. So if you had any character like Cyclops, Gambit, like your that red bar of life would just like disintegrate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some games have auto block, like Tekken has auto block. I don't think there's any penalty. That's just built into the game.
Mm,
Um, but Tekken's a whole different. That
that's
game's
it.
plenty
Yeah.
complicated enough.
Oh
And
shit.
there's so many directional, like down 3 and
I
like
tried to
moves and
learn Tekken.
combos
I was
that
like, this ain't working for me. Like, let me go on back to 2D because
yeah,
this extra dimension makes me feel like even worse of a fighting game player. So
yeah. And that actually, um, let's go into this. This isn't on the scroll, but this video you sent me today. Why aren't fighting games more popular?
yeah, man.
Uh,
Why aren't fighting games more popular?
yeah, and there's a really good there's 2 segments. The why don't more people attend fighting game tournaments? Um,
I
Fighting games
keyed
have
in on
no
that part.
yeah, and they made one good point though, um, that I really kind of felt, from the only time I played in anything tournament besides fighting games was I played like in League of Legends. And they're
Yeah.
talking about how in a fighting game, when you're just playing like Smash doubles, it's just you. So
Yep.
it's like super nerve wracking because it really is like your own damn fault if you screw up. And
Yep.
like that's a lot of pressure for some people,
And all
especially
eyes are on you, not your team, on you.
exactly. And some of the people
Yeah.
that go to the tournaments, I just heard you talking with Jeremiah. You were saying someone's mother called and said he needs to get out of the house. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I will. Do I need to come with him? And he was 18. So
Yeah.
you just know if this person's mom is calling to get him out of the house, he's gonna be, he is. There's a solid chance his social skills aren't amazing. So
Yeah.
like entering a tournament and having all eyes on him is a
Plus
lot.
that yeah, man. Plus that extra buffer.
Yeah. So I think that's a good point. As it is a lot of fucking pressure. I know the first time I played in the Strive tournament there, the game had just come out after like 2 weeks,
Yup.
and I played Geo, so I
You
made it to
came in
grand
like
finals.
second or
Just
third.
basically, I came in
Second?
second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Max destroyed me, of course. And
Well, it's Max. I'm
but
not,
but the thing is,
you was
it
whooping
was
ass
mostly
that day
because I
too, but that was like
played.
a 30-man bracket.
Yeah, and it was a lot because the game had just come out. That was half it. The other half side was playing Geo, so she's mad oppressive. So like, if you don't
Yep.
know how to play against her, it's fucking done,
You just
unless
put
you
the
really know what
controller
you're doing. So even though I'm a sociable person, and I like I'll get nervous at a tournament before this things, but the
Yeah.
second one I was mad fucking nervous because I
Were you?
never because they're like you're the second seed, so you get a first. I think I got a first round bye, and all these people are like, you ready to fuck shit up? And I hadn't really been like my game hadn't changed like for the last month.
Right.
I wasn't lab monstering. I wasn't getting sweaty. I was
Right,
like,
right.
I don't think I'm gonna do well. And I won like a first. I made it a little bit through the winners bracket, and then
Okay.
got defeated. But I was mad nervous because there was so much like everyone was coming up to me. They're like,
People
"Oh,
expected you to be
they
good
expected
now.
me." And that
Yeah.
expectation, like I'm not someone that like in a social situation gets nervous, but I noticed like in the first match, my hands were shaking a little. I was like, "Fuck!
Yeah.
If I get eliminated,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look like an idiot." And then
Yeah.
the last 2, I went out super quick. This last one, I was 2 and out. But another thing, I realized I hate. See, this would be a huge problem. Is I don't have that killer instinct when I'm in
Yeah.
losers and I'm sitting next to someone, like physically sitting next to them, and I can see them like super nervous. They've
Yeah.
obviously been labbing like for a month for this tournament, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, I could send this kid home Like, and I'm barely even playing the game at this point. Like, I play it like
Right.
once or twice a week, but this kid is like trying really hard and he really wants to win, and I just don't care. And it takes the kind of winning edge. Like with Joe, that's like the worst fucking thing you can do because you got to play mad fucking aggressive. But
You do.
yeah, and as soon as you back off a little bit, it's like you don't want to win. But anyway, I'm getting off track. I think that's a good point. Is that
No,
it's
that's legit. Like
yeah,
that's actually good insight to how people feel. Like people, I understand some when you go to tournaments and when you participate. That's why, like, yo, I'm really heavy on the community situation. Like, I don't believe that everybody who comes to my tournament has to participate specifically in brackets in the tournament. Why? Because I know that everybody is not going to react to the pressure the same. They're not going to react to the game the same. They're going to react to people standing behind them and looking at them and expectations the same. And so, like, I actually appreciate you saying that just now because it makes sense to, like, okay, your whole mindset changed from being like someone who people just, oh, Dustin's here, oh, versus like, oh shit, Dustin came in second, yo, we got to get ready for this dude. So now the expectations that people feel like I got to give you my 100% maximum A game in order to be able to hang with you. So when you
exactly.
know that's on you, and like you said, you weren't being a lab monster, you weren't labbing like crazy. So when it got to the point where it's like, okay, people have been labbing for you and you weren't labbing because obviously everybody has different goals in the FGC too. And I think that was in the video. Like everybody don't have the same goal. Like for me, like my goal in Mortal Kombat is like just to be somebody who, if whoever I sit down with, they feel like I'm a worthy partner to spar with. Versus like, damn, Chris here, I guess I'll beat his head in for a couple matches and then go find somebody else. I want to be like, okay, well, damn, he took a couple sets off me or whatever, and be like that. Or you know what I'm saying, like. I went to a tournament and I went 2-2 for the first time ever, and I was like, "Oh, this feels pretty good."
Yeah.
But it didn't necessarily change the fact that I just want to be somebody who, no matter who walks in the door, especially if a new player walks in, I'm not overwhelmingly good to where they're scared to come back, but I'm also not so ass to where they feel like, man, there ain't nothing here for me. I'm out, you know?
Yeah. No, that's actually just as good a point. Is that if you have a tournament, and it's a bunch of sweats, and someone
Hmm.
owes too, and he was already fucking nervous. Now he's going
Right.
home thinking he just made an idiot out of himself.
And he never wants to come back because that's why I'm
Yeah,
like, yo, like, please, I hammer this point home with the team. Like, make people feel welcome, make them feel like they
exactly.
matter. If you see them come in the door and they feel like they, because you can, when I'm at registration, you can see people visibly shaking if I've never seen them before. I said
Yeah,
like, hey, it's Chris. Like, listen, if you got any questions, anybody you see with this jersey on, make sure that you come talk to them. And I go around asking people how they feeling throughout the tournament because, like, if they have a chance to, oh, I want water, or hey, is there anything to eat around here? Like, I just want to engage with them so they don't feel like, damn, I came in here, I lost with 0-2, and nobody talked to me the whole time. Like, I don't think I want to come back. I that's always my biggest pet peeve is feeling like is people feeling like when they came to an Asian tournament, like there was nothing else there for them. It was just tournament. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
And
That
so when
first.
you running this shit, you gotta take that into consideration.
Oh,
And like you
absolutely.
said, Dustin, you gotta like your goal is not the same as Mac's goal. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah. That's an understatement. But
saying?
yeah, that first week there was a kid, and I think he said it
Oh,
was
he's
his
ashy.
first time coming to a tournament, and he played Potemkin, and uh, we played on stream, and I beat him, and I could tell like he was a little down, and I was like, no, you actually played pretty well. I was like, Gio's a hard ass match for Potemkin right now. It's like you'll
Right.
figure out. I was like, I guarantee you practice, you'll beat me next time. And then when we played again, he almost beat me. I ended up beating him, but I told him I
Yeah.
was like, dude, you got a lot fucking better. Like keep it up. Like,
Yo,
uh,
and that little interaction, you'd be surprised like how that
exactly.
can send
Yeah,
somebody home. Like, oh, okay, like
yeah,
they cool over there.
yeah,
Let me try to get better. See if I and like you said, the matchup was better. You still beat them, but you also could acknowledge, like, hey man, you got better. Damn, you know.
yeah. And I had to say that to a Potemkin player, so I died a little on the inside. I was like, oh. He's like, why are you
Did you
holding your
throw up a little
chest?
bit on the
Why are you
inside?
holding your chest? I'm like, nothing, man. You're doing really good. Keep going. Keep doing your thing.
You doing that pop buster?
Yeah, yeah. that was super skilled.
Good job. Just go outside and smoke. Like, Dustin, I know you smoke. I don't.
Yeah, but this was a good video. I watched this today. I
Yeah, it was a
suggest
good
everyone
clip.
watch this. Why aren't
Definitely
fighting
a good
games
clip.
more popular? There was
Do
one.
you agree with the gist of it though? Like why fighting games aren't more popular?
But they make a lot of good points. That's another thing is they were talking about how um there was like three main things that fighting games like kind of fall into now. It's like they're obsessed with like the net code. They're like, so everyone wants
Yep.
rollback, which I think is fine because now almost every game is getting rollback. I don't
Rollback.
even know
Yeah.
how a fighting game could come out and say like, we're going to delay based, but it's really good, we promise, they'd be like, no fucking way. Like, no.
That might dead
We're
a
not
game
playing
on
that
arrival.
shit. So I don't think that's really an issue anymore. And then another thing they said was how there's all this stuff like really deep games or make games more accessible. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Street Fighter V is easier than Street Fighter 4. Guilty Gear Strive's a lot easier than Rev, and stuff like that. And
Is making games easier or bad though? Like, is that a bad thing? You think that's
yeah,
bad for games?
exactly. That I honestly am completely 50-50 on that. Because at the same
Yeah.
time, because I just had an example with fucking KOF 15 when that came out, and I
Okay.
played it, and I was like, it doesn't seem like my kind of game, more of an anime fighter, but I'll give
Right.
it a shot. And when you watch it, it doesn't look that complicated. And then you realize there's different jump setups and different like levels of jumping, and
Yep.
fucking one bread and butter combo is like fucking the movements. Like there's so many movements in all the combos. There's like half circles. Like in one combo, you'll do like 3/4 circles, a half circle, and like 2
Yep.
circles. Like, and
Listen,
it was
I
like
ain't doing
it's
all
too
that.
much. And I
I
was
ain't
like,
doing all that.
yeah. And I couldn't play it. I actually returned it on Steam. I was like, the game looks cool to watch. The matches last fucking forever. It's worse than DBZ, but it's fun to watch, and it looks like a really cool game. It's got a huge cast, so I respect it for what it is. But it wasn't accessible to me, and I'm not.
Right.
I'm in between. Like I'm a little bit probably ahead of a casual as far as
Right.
like now after
Definitely.
I've played the last couple years. Casual's like,
Right.
oh, this game looks cool. I played Mortal Kombat with a buddy. I consider that a casual, but some people would probably consider me a casual too. But yeah. So like I loved Rev for its in-depthness, but
Right.
it seemed a little bit more accessible. But KOF did not feel accessible at all. So I don't know. I guess it depends on the game. What do you think?
It's tough because I think the games that make it really easy to play, but then make the skill level, like the skill ceiling high, I think those are probably the more successful games because it's like I can get in this game and press buttons and feel like I'm doing something. That's the main thing is like you never want players to feel like, damn, I should just put the fucking controller down.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing against somebody who is really high level, high skill. But you still want to feel like you're playing the game against somebody. So when you some of these guys, when I played in my Street Fighter 4 tournament like years ago, I just was like, damn, I don't know why I have a controller in my hands right now. Cause like it just felt like I couldn't get nothing out. And then when I played in 5, it's like, okay, like I'm still getting washed, but it just feels better the way I'm getting washed. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I still got a Ken combo off. I still was able to hit a couple Shoryukens and throw some fireballs out and not get completely stomped the fuck out as soon as I started playing the game. So like that feels good from a player base, and it also feels good for you wanting to return to the game later on. Like, oh yeah, you could throw me in that game. Well, you know what? Yeah, what is it, $5? Yeah, I'll put $5 in the Japanese bracket.
Yeah.
Especially like now, like I think the main thing is people don't understand. Like some people just don't have time to like really go deep, delving into labbing games into getting good. Some people do, and then sometimes like even I see people on my team, like they'll have a season where they just we get it, grinding, and it's like, oh shit, life happens. Hey, give me a second. I gotta fall back this week. I gotta fall back for these next couple weeks, or you know what, Chris, I gotta take a month off, just kind of get my mental back together. So I like them, but I know that I'm probably in a minority with people who were like, nah, man, it's a fighting game. You gotta learn. You gotta get your ass beat, 65 times in a row
Yeah.
till you learn to stop pressing the grab button when I'm hitting the 14th hit of my combo. So like, I know that there's still a lot of that there, and I get it because there's a certain level of pride and like, nah, man, I worked my ass off to get this nice. But I do want to make sure that like it doesn't matter how good you are if you're the dopest person out of three. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like you nice, but you could never get nobody to play your game. It doesn't matter, So I always take that into consideration with like as far as like how games can grow and how games can stay alive over the years. And
Yeah.
that's been something that some games struggle with. Like Soul Calibur struggles with that heavy. People come out, the game is fire, they love it, and then like a year, 2 years in, like you forget that shit exists.
Yeah.
So I'm all about it, man. I think accessibility is good, even though like in the video you can see that it wasn't a wonderful thing, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it being accessible to people feeling like, yo, I could press some buttons and do something here.
Yeah. And I think I think it gets a little bit worse too now that a lot of fighters are on, well, I guess the PC and all the consoles. Is that
Yeah.
like when the hardest thing is to keep taking those L's. You know what I mean? You get frustrated and stuff,
Yeah.
and then you just have like when I'm playing, like if I get just a little frustrated and I don't feel like keep taking losses, I got a Steam library literally in front of me of 2 other things I could play that aren't gonna piss me off. So
Yep.
like, and that's another thing. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, some of the old school fighting games, it wasn't as easy to just fucking switch games in a heartbeat.
It sure
There
wasn't.
wasn't a million games out there that won't piss you off. You just got a library sitting there like
Play me,
like the whole entire time. So you so it's
I
tough.
like that one.
Like I switch games all the time because of that.
Yeah, man. I feel you though. Like, if I'm getting dusted in the game, man, fuck that game. You know, and back in Sega days, you just snatch that bitch out the system real hard and then
Yeah, yeah,
throw something in there real hard. But like you said, the accessibility back then was not the same. Like my Steam library is way different than what my Sega library is. You know.
yeah. I'm gonna slam in the X-Men game. That'll be easier.
You know?
Hey, this has got to be easy.
Shit.
This is for kids, right?
Do you know how hard it was to beat that fucking game? Oh God, I felt that way. I felt that watching my life melt with Nightcrawler and Gambit.
Yeah. Okay. What else? Embracer. So for people that don't know, Embracer bought
Embracer.
Square Enix Montreal. They bought they already own THQ. They own Gearbox. They're like
They own
they
Gearbox?
own a ton of shit. Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
shit. I
insane.
didn't
I was
know
doing
that.
some research today. They'll get Square Enix Montreal. They're getting Crystal
Wow.
Dynamics. And something else. THQ. Yeah.
Shit, that's
THQ.
yo. I think they said when they
Or a
done
studio that
doing what they
works
gonna
with them.
do, they're gonna have like 14,000 employees, like 144 in something studios.
Dude, it's
It's
insane.
crazy.
Yeah, and when I started researching this today, I was like, they Dead Island. They're about to get Tomb Raider, DSX, THQ Nordic. That's what they're getting. So they're gonna get Darksiders, Saints Row, Titan Quest, Stalker, some bargain bin stuff that no one's doing anything really with. I think Saints Row has a game coming out actually. That's the
Does
only
it
one I think
really?
of. I have in capital letters here next to Darksiders. Don't say Darkstalkers. I'm starting fucking
Darkstalkers.
rumors.
They're
But
like, yo, Dustin said Darkstalkers is coming out, man.
yeah, they're
You
coming out
guys are
with new
fucking liars, bro.
Darkstalkers. But I guess the big one is Crystal Dynamics because that gives them Tomb Raider. They recently announced that Tomb Raider is going to be on Unreal Engine 5,
Oh,
which
okay.
Unreal Engine 5 looks fucking amazing.
Yo,
They have a have you seen the demo where the guy put Spider-Man in that Matrix Unreal Engine 5
Yep.
shit?
yep.
That looks hella fucking cool.
Oh man, that should look fire.
I'll pull it up while I'm talking.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this,
And sorry about that. And another thing that I'm excited about is they made a point to bring up Legacy of Kain. Is that they get the rights to Legacy of Kain? And did you ever play any Legacy of Kain games?
I played the
Soul
what was it,
Reaver?
like the Blood Omen or what was it?
Yeah. There was Blood Omen. There was Soul Reaver. There was the original Legacy of Kain. For the PlayStation 1, and this was not exactly a game that a kid probably should have played, but I'll put
No,
it on the screen here.
but I played it anyway.
Yeah, but it was mad dark, but it was mad cool. You had to literally kill civilians and drink their blood. But this is this hasn't exactly aged well. I mean, it looks like Diablo in a way. But it was I think I must have been like 8 or 9. This is way too complicated for me. Like I got to some parts, but getting lost in some of these old school games was so fucking easy.
Listen, you didn't know who to talk to. Like I was those people, I would go to the same villager like 16 times, and I would find him like, oh wait, there's somebody behind him. Let me talk to this person, and then be like, oh okay, that's what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, but I think they will do a remake of Soul Reaver. Did you ever play Soul Reaver?
I don't remember playing it.
A new version, or even a remake, anything of this game would be fucking amazing. Like this game was very dark. It played great. So many good things I can say about this. I played and beat them all. But yeah, that part excited me that someone that might actually do something with it, picked it up for relatively cheap, and by relatively cheap, 300 million. But still, like that's with fucking Bungie like being sold to Sony and Microsoft buying all this shit, 300 million actually seems pretty cheap for a lot of
Jesus.
these franchises.
Yeah, it is really cheap.
But
You think it'll be another Legacy that come out because of that?
I hope so. I because I thought about it, and I was like, when I saw the Legacy of Kain series
Gosh, those early
is in
3D
there,
days
and
was
I was like,
rough.
holy shit, I forgot about those games. Those are so good. They were
You
like,
know what's wild? I just watched a video about Legacy of Kain.
yeah,
Literally, like it was like just going through the history of it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And now
yes,
look, they done bought the damn studio.
yeah, and I like so the only reason I bring this up because I looked it up and I was like, man, now that I remember this game, there has to be a push for people to make another one of this, and especially with a new studio. And I looked it up, and I guess the people that want a new version of Legacy of Kain, especially Soul Reaver, is like immense. Like they would be dumb not to do it.
Word?
Yeah. It's like Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver is like to PlayStation what Vector Man is to Sega. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of thing. It's like
I would
mainstream
actually
but
love another
cult.
Vector Man.
Vector Man was the shit. I love that game. But that's how I could put it in perspective. Like as kind of it's more of a platformer action game, but like super popular, even though it's it seems kind of indie, and like the way they do shit.
Yep.
So I think that's a good comparison. So uh that would be pretty cool if they redid that. But
I would
yeah,
totally be down and play the shit out of it. I'm not gonna front on you.
yeah. But Embracer, yeah, they're the parent company of Gearbox. Dead Island, I guess they said Dead Island 2 is still in development. People, it's becoming a running joke because
I forgot all about that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
but apparently they still say at the shareholders meetings and stuff that yes, it's still in development. Like it's sad when that's where you're getting your news from. Like, is this game still around? It's like, well, they told the 80-year-old white dudes that it still is. So, they
I
must be
bet
good.
it's still there.
Yeah. What would Dead Island do?
It looks like we might be getting it right before I get to this retirement home.
Is that like Gilligan's Island is there, Skipper?
I sure would love to see Skipper there.
Yes, sir. It's Gilligan's Island with zombies and it's a little bit
That's
more
all.
violent.
It's a little bit different.
Do you hit them with coconuts?
Does she wear a red shirt?
Yeah. So yeah, they're
soaked in blood. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess they're at least doing Dead Island 2 and Tomb Raider. That's still probably a couple years out. I know people get all excited when, like I did, when they're like, "Oh, Tomb Raider 5 is going to be Unreal Engine 5," and they announced it when they showed off more Unreal Engine stuff. But after stuff like the Final Fantasy 7 remake, where you hear the announcement and then you waited like I think it was 5.5 years till it came out. Like as long as it comes out in the next like 3 or 4 years, I feel like that's a fucking win.
It took a minute, but yeah, we finally got the Final Fantasy we was looking for.
Yeah. So those kind of things has given me like more real expectations about when like games are coming out. So I don't expect the new Tomb Raider anytime soon.
When did it get announced?
I think Tomb Raider got announced like a decent amount of time ago, but I think they announced that they're going to build it on on Unreal Engine 5. Since I don't, what it really is it depends on how recently they made that decision. Like, are they going to be able to convert it to Unreal Engine 5, which shit they have? Are they able to make it on Unreal Engine 5 because they haven't fucking really started it? Like, they aren't that far into it. So, I don't know if it's out there. It might be, but I don't know the reasoning. But I think it's totally dependent on, wait, did you start it and you're just converting shit to Unreal Engine 5? Or are you like, we're Unreal Engine 5 officially development was like a year ago. We just started making it. So, but as far as I know, I haven't nobody's for sure. So we'll just have to keep waiting.
Gosh, look at that.
Yeah, I know.
It's so funny to see these back in the day, man.
Yeah, the friggin' the cube rolling puzzles. They were.
God, it was so annoying to me.
Yeah, they are pretty annoying. It's like a Zelda Breath of the Wild puzzle with the gravity thing.
Yeah.
Those were still pretty fun. Never beat Breath of the Wild. I got so far and then I just
stop playing.
Yeah. You know what it
It
is? I
happens.
think I let my buddy borrow the Switch, and then I think he beat it. And then
Mm.
when I got it back, I just never ended up doing
Like,
it.
hey, I'll finish this for you.
Yeah. uh, yeah. So what else we got? Oh, E3. I'll do a little recap of what's kind of going on with the E3. Um, E3 started in, I believe, 1995, and it was the
Jesus.
first major
I was
game
10.
conference that, because it used to be at CES, Consumer Electronics Show, and
I remember
they would
that.
have like their own little section and stuff, and then they eventually, EAS, I think it might be, is the people
Mm-hmm.
that E3. Um, so they wanted something, just for video games. Um, and people would rent out these like show floors and everything, and there's a lot of huge. I mean, nothing beats some of the moments from E3. Just from the people standing on the stage, um, it would take us a fucking like hours to go through uh
Yeah.
all the, you know, all the big E3 announcements. Um, the one where friggin' Sony came out after Dreamcast. Was it Dreamcast? And they
It was
announced the price, and then
he was like $2.99.
yeah, that's it. That's it. And he was just like $2.99. And that was the whole press conference and
It
stuff
just
like
dipped.
that.
I was like, yo,
Yeah.
that was gangster as fuck though.
Yeah. There's so many moments like that. Some more recent ones, the uh
Wake the up, samurai.
this was one of my favorites.
We have a
As the
city to
cyberpunk
burn.
Keanu Reeves part.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Keanu Reeves, man. I've been a
Oh
fan
yeah,
since
I don't know how you I don't know
it
how you
wasn't even
can't.
Matrix. I've been a fan since The Replacements.
Oh yeah. I mean,
That
you
was
didn't like
good.
Bill and Ted?
Oh shit, I forgot about whoa. I totally forgot. I wasn't
That's a
heavy
classic.
into like
I
who
don't. I
people were
wasn't
back
really.
then.
No, I'm just fucking
Yeah.
with you. I wasn't really. I never saw it. And
I
I was like,
forgot about Bill and
that's my
Ted.
fucking favorite
Jeez.
actor. Like, but no, the John Wick movies, they're all great. But this
Yeah,
is. I'm just
yeah.
showing this because it's just a great example. Like,
Look how
seeing
they just freak the
everyone
fuck out. Yeah,
losing
look
their
at
shit. Like,
that.
there's a solid chance we aren't gonna get this again because, as many people know, they claim that they're doing it. They canceled it this year because they're like, we're gonna come back better than ever. We're gonna totally catch up on the pandemic stuff, and everything's gonna be great. But they're saying that, but at the same time, there's so many reasons that I don't know if it can come back. And one of the reasons is, a lot of the companies, Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, they have all their stuff now with State of Play,
They
and there's
own
so
families.
many
They own,
advantages with
yeah.
that. They can release stuff on their schedule. They don't have to scramble to get stuff ready for one convention on a date that they don't set. Floor space costs a ton of money
Mm-hmm.
for these bigger things. Like literally, I read somewhere that it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get a space on the floor. And you think, well, that's not a big deal for Sony, but these companies didn't get to where they were pissing $200,000 away. Like,
No.
if they can do it on their own, people can watch it from their own home. They can do it on their schedule. There's just so many things going against E3, and they did a digital one last year, so I don't know why they're not doing it. What I think will happen is they'll try and do an in-person thing next year. I don't think it's going to do well because I think Microsoft, Xbox, and Nintendo are going to be like, no, we aren't really going to give you anything impressive. And then I think they're going to go back to virtual. So people can do these presentations. Maybe give them the videos a week earlier. They don't have to set it up, like their
That's a
booths
fact.
and everything. So
That's a fact.
yeah,
It makes me sad because I like, obviously I literally have a business built on nostalgia, like built on like people loving the old school way of things. But like you said, man, like if there's a more efficient way to do it and kind of cut out the middleman, I don't know if E3 wants to start leaning more heavily towards indie developers and showing indie develop like there's a way to do these things that like you can kind of put some more flavor to, like have more gameplay there, change the pricing on what it costs to be there, like. But it's got to be something that I think that, and I don't have the answer. Typically, I have like when I hear these things, my mind immediately starts turning gears. Like, oh, do this, do that, do that. But I couldn't think of too many things for E3 that would make me feel like, okay, like, excuse me, like, oh, they just got to do this and that, and it'll make it better. Like, yeah, I realistically think that maybe they should push towards their own, whatever. The only thing I could think of like E3 that would make it big time is like they announced like they're going to be a part of some kind of big gaming circle, or like a circuit rather, or announce their own system or their own streaming service. Like it would have to be something of that level for people to be like, okay, like there's something here at E3 I can't get nowhere else.
Exactly.
And it's big enough to where I'm okay with, like, okay, I'll take the the whatever time is to be here. And like I said, I think maybe just showing indie developers more love and like letting them rock out on a bigger stage. Obviously you can't get the kind of money that you could get from a Microsoft or a Sony or Xbox, but if you're trying to keep your shit alive, that may be the way to go about it.
Yeah.
There goes my guy. There goes my guy. His gun arm look big as fuck in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to tell you, he's a big dude. Did you play the game?
Oh, I played shit out of it.
I know you did.
I want that bitch on release.
I'm not gonna lie though, I still watch this video every once in a while because it gives me chills. Because
Can you feel it, right?
I could feel it right now, and I'm barely hearing it and watching it on this tiny little Streamlabs screen, and I still get chills because the excitement that it was actually happening was just fucking.
I lost my shit. I said, no way.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
And it's sad we might not get that again.
I think we're gonna get it. It's just different levels now. And I think if E3 was smart, just like Capcom did, they would go back to the community like, look, what y'all want, how y'all want it, what can we do? Like, I think that's why they took the years off. Like, yo, we have to rebrand what E3 was back in the 90s and the early 2000s, and like I think their apex was like probably like 01 to like maybe like 2016, 2015, right?
Yeah.
What is this?
No, they can't see it yet. Hold on. Finish your thought.
Okay. So yeah, the apex of like, I think they had that run, but then like you said, Nintendo was like, yo, we just gonna do our Nintendo Direct. We don't gotta, and it's like this too, like if you want everybody there, you have to make it more accessible. Oh, there goes that word again. You have to make it more accessible to people who like, okay, like if I'm Xbox, what am I gonna do that draws me here now? What's the point in me having this? What makes me feel like I care now? And I don't think E3 has done a good job. Like, I think for a while now, they've just been living off the fact that it's E3. This is our name. We built this brand,
Yeah.
But like now, people are like, okay, you built this brand, but like your brand ain't really giving me nothing. I can't get nowhere else.
Yeah.
So it's that weird space they're in now, which kind of sucks. But
yeah, truth is the truth, man. They're gonna make E4 more accessible, and then all the fans of E3 are gonna get real pissed off. This is a fucking noob conference.
Oh God. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know, man. I want to see it come back. I don't want to see a conference that's been so important to gaming over the years just die out like that. But
I know.
And they gotta figure it out, man.
I think I'm trying to be like think of reasons it probably isn't, because I'm just mentally preparing myself. That everything is just going to be a slideshow of videos. No one's going to be on the stage. And like another thing that's great about it is like some of them were so freaking awkward, like that it was cringy. But I sometimes you kind of liked it because it was just so corny. You just have your head in your hands, like, man, that's so cheesy. This is so awkward.
But it was a genuine moment. It was still.
Yeah, it was part of the experience. Like, it was part of the experience of E3. It wasn't just...
Because everything ain't going to be blockbuster. Oh, my God, hitting home. Some shit going to be like, oh, okay, that was cool.
Yeah.
Let me go get a drink during this because I don't really care about this particular part of the presentation. Like, there's that, too. I think we watched E3 at the store a couple years, and, like, there were some times where people that literally just picked the controllers up, start playing games. Like, oh, this ain't what the fuck I care about. So...
Yeah. No,
that's an aspect, but I don't know, man. They got to figure it out. They got to figure it out. I don't want them to leave.
Everything being pre-recorded just isn't the same.
Yeah,
like,
I don't want to be Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yo, if I could bring Blockbuster back, I would. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a lot of work, but I would figure something out.
See, you were high class as a kid. We had Video King.
Listen, I was in Wegmans too. I was in Wegmans renting video games.
Oh yeah.
You remember that shit?
I remember I would rent video games from Video King unless there was it was like Hesselsen's or something like that, and they had video game rentals, and I would go to Video King, and my mom would let me rent video games every once in a while, unless I wanted Zombies Ate Your Neighbors. The only thing that had it was one of my favorite games, and the Video King didn't have it, but the Hesselsen's or whatever, the grocery store had it. So I'd like if I could rent a video game on Friday, but my mom was like, I'm going to the grocery store on Saturday. I was like, and I'm not a very impatient person. I sure as fuck wasn't or I'm not a very patient person, and I sure as fuck wasn't a patient kid. But I would like wait an extra day to rent a game because I'd be like, got to get that Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
It was worth it. Zombies Ate My Neighbors is one of my favorite games ever. Me and my sister played the shit out of that game.
Yeah, we got to find a way to for a let's play. We got to play.
I already know.
I love that game. That's such a great game.
I can cruise through like the first 16 levels. After that shit.
Yeah, dude, there's like 50 levels too. That shit gets mad hard.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. The giant baby level. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, isn't that some bullshit?
Anyway, yeah, man, you get stumped the fuck out.
We could show people that level when we play, because I'm gonna make that happen. We're gonna find a way to make that work. If I have to go,
let me know when you do. I'm down.
If I have to go in and we can just stream your screen and I go into the practice area, we'll do it that way. But I think we can
figure it out.
I think we can connect. We'll figure it out. But they had Zombies Ate My Neighbors for Sega, but most people got it on Super Nintendo. I don't even think when I would look at ROMs against Super Nintendo, and this brings me into the last thing, is I saw this hot take. And I saw this hot take meme, and I'm going to put it on the screen for people now. But I feel like this is like a common theme for SNES people, because I'm not going to lie, most of my friends had SNES. I think one had, I had a Sega. I'm a Sega kid. But most of my friends had SNES. And for the people that don't know, WCW is like, it's another wrestling federation, so it's like
World
WWF, but it's not. What's the other one? NWA. That's another one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But Sega Genesis gets all this hate. There's so many games that weren't for Super Nintendo that were on Sega that I loved. Like there's a game called The Haunting starring Poltergeist, and that was a dope game. You literally would go into
the house hunting people, right?
You'd go into the house and you would haunt people.
You could be in the dresser, or you be in the bathtub. Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say which, but this game is part of the password I use for shit in the last like 25 years. Like, there's a segment of the name of this that has been my like password for a lot of my shit for a really long time. But like, this wasn't on Super Nintendo, and I feel like Nintendo was more strict with the shit they could put on their system.
They were.
So you got stuff like this. So this person can't see you, and you literally use your ecto to go into stuff and try and scare them to run out of the house into the door.
Yep.
And it was
get on out of there. Got him.
And it was freaking it was brilliant. It was so good. I tell people to play this all the time.
It was funny but goofy, and but it was nice. I remember playing this and I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah. Like jumps in the coat rack, and then he jumped in the painting, made a dragon come out. So there's a lot of games like this on Sega that I feel like Nintendo didn't have. So I was always
Sega was you know what I liked about Nintendo. I'll say this. I saw Super Nintendo really had like the music was for most games was actually better on Super Nintendo than Sega. Sega had like this hard
they had
rock,
a better audio chip for sure.
Like it had like this hard rock to it, and then I didn't know till I got older and I played some games with Super Nintendo. Like, damn, this shit sounds like as great as NBA Jam sounds to me on Sega, it sounded even better on Super Nintendo. And I was like, oh, I kind of missed out a little bit there because I'm a big music guy. I love to hear good music, and like it really helps enhance the experience for me. But I was like, yo. I didn't understand it because a lot of my friends had Sega, so I didn't understand the Super Nintendo, like the Sega Super Nintendo thing, till I got a little bit older, and I was like, oh, y'all really beefing about this thing. This is real.
Yeah. For sure, though.
Y'all really care about this.
Super Nintendo did have a much better sound chip. I actually remember just looking at a YouTube video of a history of something. It probably was about Super Nintendo, them saying that the sound chip was a lot better than all the shit that was like coming out at the time.
Yeah.
I will say, the only thing that kind of like made me want a Super Nintendo is I didn't get to play any of the Final Fantasies. Like I had a normal Nintendo, but the original Final Fantasy it wasn't great. Like it wasn't anything special, but I never got to play the 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I think the second one came out for NES. I think they had 1 and 2, right? And Super
There was
Nintendo,
one that came out. It was like the easiest way you could play.
Yeah.
But they made it easy for American players on purpose.
Yeah. So it meant that the first one I played was 7, but you know what? Maybe that's a good thing, because now it's like tied for my favorite game of all time. So
yeah.
Maybe it wouldn't have been if I had played 5 or 6, and I wouldn't have liked that one. Maybe I wouldn't have even played 7. So
that's
maybe
true.
it all worked out.
I started with 7.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I probably would have liked 6. From what I know now, I probably would have liked 6 even as a kid. So
my brother likes 6. I like 5 more.
Yeah,
but that's just because I love changing like interchangeable classes and shit like that. That's always been my thing.
Yeah, and I think so yeah, 7, and then I played 7, and then a Final Fantasy Tactics came out right after that, and it was just a fucking wave of dope. Like I couldn't handle it as a kid. Like Tactics,
son, Tactics.
Yeah, I got it on my phone. I still play that shit.
Did you beat the dungeon, like the one where you got like there's no light in there and you have to like let the people die? The crystals so you can light the way,
Yep.
Man,
I did all that, and I did it with Cloud. You could get Cloud.
I didn't like the fact that he had like they treated his special moves like they were spells though. I'm like, no, it should be instant cast, like like Orlando and all of them. You know
or at least since their limit breaks, like once he gets hit once, he can do them or something.
Give me something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But no, I got like that on my phone. I played it still.
Yeah. I played on the PSP. That's when I got deep into it because like the PSP version was actually better than the PlayStation version. Yeah.
Yeah, they added
Lion
shit.
War was better.
Yep, I think I did have that on PSP also. PSP was an underrated system too.
It was because there were certain spells you couldn't use in the PlayStation version that you could use in PSP.
And they added like 2 classes on the Lion War. I forget what they're called, but they added 2 new. Oh, the Onion Knight. And something else, I can't remember.
I didn't play a lot of Onion Knight. I liked it, but I didn't play a lot of it.
Yeah, I don't really remember what they did. I know they were strong though. I think well, it was either that one of the classes was mad hard to get, like even like the hardest class to get. So I'm not even sure that I got it.
It was Blood Knight. Yeah. I know you had it was Onion Knight and I think Blood Knight. You couldn't beat Blood Knight before the PlayStation 1 version.
Gotcha. Yeah, that sounds about right. I just remember Onion Knight because that's a goofy ass name.
Yeah, it was fun. Onion Knight was just like, hey, I'm going to be C+ at everything.
Yeah. All right. What else you got? Anything you can think of?
Listen, that's we covered a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about, man. I'm hyped to see that Lego that Lego game drop, man. I'm a big fan of that. So
yeah, that Lego game Infinity. Yeah, we're gonna be you're gonna be brawled out. Like, because you gotta watch that shit constantly. Like, if those games are good, you're gonna need so many more setups. Like,
oh my god,
you're gonna have to now start like having people like free entry with setups. Like, no, I'll give you $10. You need to fucking bring a setup. This fucking Lego Brawl and this Infinity shit nonsense. Like,
I hope I'm okay because I use PlayStation 4 for so many things. So if I can get away with playing Lego Brawler on the Xbox Series S, I will absolutely I will use because besides Killer Instinct, I don't use Xbox in my tournaments at all right now. You know what I'm saying? So if I can get away with that, Justin, trust me, you gonna see the Xbox setup over there, man, with Lego Brawlers on it.
Yeah, not having enough setups is champagne problems. If that's a bad problem to have.
That is a bad problem to have until people complain and say they don't want to come back. They go to Twitter like, I can't come to this tournament anymore.
I had to talk to people for an hour before my match came up.
Can't believe it.
I'm sick of making small talk. I don't even like baseball.
I don't like people.
I don't watch Naruto anymore.
I stopped watching One Piece at episode 487.
That was a decade ago.
I know there's 800 more.
Oh man. All right, so I
Yeah,
guess we'll
yeah.
end it there. Thanks everyone for watching.
Appreciate y'all.
Yep, and then you can catch this again on the YouTube channel. If you're catching it on YouTube, we stream these live, aiming for every Tuesday around 5:30, and it is twitch.tv/safeontalk. And we will catch you guys next week. You were doing
All right,
Tuesday,
so
right?
Tuesdays, yeah,
All right,
Tuesday.
we're
Let's do
doing
that.
Tuesdays. All right, we'll see you guys next Tuesday.